Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to a potential transfer discussion. And for this segment, we're going to be asking, should we sell Jonjoe Kenny? And if so, who do we bring in to replace him? So Owen Parks, Teddy McAllister, and myself are going to run through the pros and cons of a potential deal where Jonjoe Kenny is sold, and also run the rule over a possible alternative that out of the right backs that we've been linked with so far. So we'll start with Owen on this one. What would you do with Jonjoe Kenny? Keep or sell?
Sell.
That was very, very strongly very strong minds on this, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Jonjoe Kenny. I don't think he's good enough to be Everton's starting right back. And if he's not going to be the starting right back, he's not going to be the backup either, because Seamus Coleman's clearly got that position nailed down as some sort of utility right back if we're going to sign one in. So I would much rather go out and buy a right back who would be the starter, and then let James Coleman be the understudy to sort of, be there when we need him. But I don't think as our number one choice right back it can be Jonjoe Kenny. I don't think he's good enough defensively. He's got a decent cross on him. He's average in terms of his sort of like passing metrics and whatever. But I just think he's for a team in the Premier League who's about lower bottom half, I would say.
So not a great sort of testimony there of Jonjoe Kenny. Teddy, what's your take?
Sort of on the fence. I was for the longest time, the same as Owen. Don't think he's good enough. Based on what I'd seen before he went out on loan, I thought, he's got a level, and it's not going to be the level we need. So he's probably the best option to move out because, he'd be good on the FFP front because, he's not cost anything, but he'd be bringing money in, so it'd be all, pure profit. But then if he does stay, I've been sort of taught a bit of a lesson by the season just gone in that your players can surprise you. I'd have said last summer, Holgate was exactly the same as Kenny. Now I'd have said, what, sell him, he's never going to make it, he's not going to be good enough. A lot of people would have said the same about Calvert-Lewin, and the two of them went on to have great seasons. Now, okay, he was in a struggling team, and the team didn't do that well, but their personal seasons were by far and away better than anyone would have expected. So since Kenny's had this loan, he's obviously going to have learned a lot more about himself as a player. And okay, you might have looked at the way he performed on the loan and go, still wasn't good enough, but there's no reason that he couldn't come back and, improve now. So obviously at the time of recording, we haven't seen that yet. So I would still probably, for me, have him on sell him. It's worth selling. I'd like to use that, freedom financially that would bring in better quality players, especially in the right back position. But I'm more open now to the idea of him staying if that's the way the club will approach it. See what happens this season. Then you've always got next summer if it doesn't work out.
Definitely. I mean, you guys have definitely taken different views on this, but I think it shouldn't be any surprise if anyone knows my opinions on Seamus Coleman. What I'm going to say, I'm very much of the keep Kenny as a backup and sell Seamus Coleman and replace him. That one's really raised a few eyebrows there with Owen.
The only problem in a sort of FIFA Football Manager type mold, that'd be fine. But in the real world, I mean, yourself, it'd be nice to happen. It's not going to though. Coleman's locked in place, isn't he? He's not going to go anywhere.
It's just a shame. I think Kenny does seem very committed to making it at Everton, and I think he's actually spoken out and said that today, which you're very against this, Owen, are you?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Kenny, but if he was to stay, then obviously I think he could prove people wrong. I'm yet to see any evidence that he's anything other than a bottom-half Premier League player. So I don't know. People say we're a bottom-half Premier League team, but I still think we want our levels to be higher than that. So I think if we're going to get better, it won't be with Jonjoe Kenny right back, but we'll see.
Yeah, my stance is pretty much, your sell, your keep, I'm sort of maybe, but I do lean more towards what Owen thinks, but I've now got that smidgen of doubt where, I'm aware it could change over a season because we've seen it happen. But yeah, if you're asking me, if you put the decision in my hands right now, I'd probably sell him. Yeah, that'd be.
So I've been outnumbered there. Definitely, Jonjoe Kenny goes in the hypothetical sense that Kenny does leave. Who comes in? We've had a little bit. There's been a few right backs linked. Also, a few names out there: Diogo Dalot, Santiago Arias, Alessandro Florenzi. Who out of those guys would you take?
Dalot.
What about you, Terry?
Arias. Because I when we signed, Sprans and Silva, we were linked to it like specific players, like for certain positions, and Lozano and Richarlison, and we got some of them, didn't get others. Arias was one who we were linked with when Kieran Trippier went to Atletico. So I've looked at him a few times since with the idea of we might sign him, and he looks like he'd be a great Everton player. He's very aggressive, he's very combative as a player. Haven't seen Florenzi much, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, Max Aarons, Diego Dalot, they're attacking right backs. They're flying right backs. Dalot plays like on the wing sometimes for Man United. I don't see them fitting in that sort of mould that he wants at right back, which is where they took him to be a centre back at times, which is what Coleman's been doing. Certainly don't see Dalot doing that. And it's got to be said as well, Dalot's constantly injured, isn't he? Which is something we want to get.
Yeah. Either that or he can't get in the team, which doesn't scream we should sign him.
No, the reason why I'm going for Diogo Dalot is that I think there's potential there. I don't think his future's at Man United, and I think he's a young enough right back we can mould. He's big, he's quite strong, so we can get forward quite well. I just think there's more potential in signing him than Arias, who I do like at Atletico. He plays in a similar way to what we play in the 4-4-2. Florenzi would be a no because I think it's difficult to. If we were an Italian team, then maybe, but I don't think he'd be a good fit for us. But Dalot, I wouldn't choose Dalot if I had to choose anyone. It'd be Kenny Tete at Leon.
That's been a name. That's a name that has been dotted around.
He'd be one because I think he can cut in as that third centre back and do well going forward. So he would be my choice. It wouldn't be Dalot, but out of them, I think there's more room to develop Dalot than there would be Florenzi or Arias.
I think either way, I think pretty much all these names that we've named would be an upgrade on either of the right backs we've got at the moment.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, maybe I'd have Coleman over Florenzi because I just don't think he's a really good fit for what we need, and I think Coleman's a decent choice to be the third centre back.
I obviously very much beg to differ on that front.
No, but I think if you've seen Coleman towards when Ancelotti's come in, he's done a very good job defensively. He's improved him defensively. He's not the same as he was going forward, but I'm not Coleman's biggest fan either, as people know from a few years ago, but I do see more worth of keeping him around than Jonjoe Kenny.
So it's definitely regardless of who we bring in, the stance from this show, definitely from you two, is sell Jonjoe Kenny if the chance comes around.
Yeah, if we get good money for him, yeah, and I would sell him. I can't see a situation where he stays just because we need other positions more, and we can make do with Coleman and him. But if the opportunity comes to bring in a new right back, I would definitely sell him. I don't think he's our future there. Is my point.
Yeah, fair play. Terry, same.
Yeah, same answer, but different context. More reluctantly, but still the same answer.
Yeah, I'm very much. I want to see how Kenny gets on. Give him a full season and maybe try and phase him in over Coleman this season and just see what happens. I can't see us signing a right back this summer. Not when we've got so many more important areas to address.
I think we might loan one. I think we might get one. I don't think we'll buy Max Aarons because they'll want big money for him relatively for a right back. And I just don't think we'll be willing to put that kind of money down for a right back. But I can see Arias coming in maybe on loan, or I don't know, Kenny Tete on loan, something like that. I can't see us buying Max Aarons though.
No. So a loan, if not, it's Kenny and Coleman.
Yeah, but reluctantly so.
Reluctantly so. So yeah, I'd like to see how Kenny gets on this season, give him a real chance, and I can't see us doing bits this season in any way. Let's just see how he gets on, and if not, then we've got next summer.
Yeah, I think with Kenny though, it depends what offer comes in. If we get a good offer for him from, I don't know, someone like a Crystal Palace, for example, or a team from abroad, then I think you would have to look at it, because if he has a bad season, does his stock no good that he had an okay loan at Schalke and then not an unsuccessful spell at Everton. So I think you'd have to look at it. If we could get a better one in, then you'd have to look at it.
Fair play. I think that's something that I try and avoid looking into, is the balance sheet side of things. But I think now more than ever, we probably need to take that into consideration. So it's probably a really good point, which is a shame, because there's not enough I'd like to see more than us just like start throwing the money around. But we know that hasn't worked in the past.
No, but I think we've done it poorly as well. I don't know if any of you saw over the weekend, there was a Twitter poll from 2017, who'd you rather, Ever Banega or Gylfi Sigurdsson, and 80% said Gylfi Sigurdsson. So we throw money at things that look good because he looked good at Swansea, and we didn't really know as much about Ever Banega. We're rarely at that time. Ever Banega still is a much better player. So
yeah, I think we need to look beyond the whole facade of things, and I think that's a Machiri issue as much as anything, because he's very big on these statement signings, isn't he?
Yeah, that needs to be brought under control as well.
That needs to be in my opinion, that needs to be completely knocked on the head, and we need to be far more strategic.
Well, yeah, but trying to be a little bit more calm about it. But yeah, I do agree.
No, but we brought in Marcel Brands to try and be more strategic, so he needs to let him do his job.
Yeah, he's got a different sort of remit to buy for this time, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's buying for a 4-3-3, so maybe the players he was buying for a 4-3-3 just wasn't being coached well enough by Silva. With Ancelotti,
we're bringing 4-4-2 players in, hopefully.
Then maybe we'll see better results from him too.
All I will say is sign Asmir Begovic now, otherwise Ancelotti's going to war.
What's this Asmir Begovic thing?
Yeah, I heard rumours that, basically the Daily Star put this article up. This guy called Harry Pratt put a thing up where it's like an article like Ancelotti's upset because we're missing out on all our key targets, and named Begovic as one of them.
No, the Daily Star didn't name Begovic. The Daily Star published the article, and then someone messaged Toffee Blues John privately saying this is true, and Begovic was one of the players that Ancelotti wanted, and Brands won't get him. So it's caused a rift between the two of them, and it was just okay. Asmir Begovic is causing the rift between Brands and Ancelotti. It's just it wasn't in the Daily Star article. That was separate. That was some other ITK going straight to the Toffee Blues with the scoop.
It was Keith Azul.
Yeah.
Right, there you have it, guys. Anyway, let us know your opinions on Jonjoe Kenny. Drop us a comment. Do you want to keep him, sell him, loan him, whatever you want to do? Let us know what you want us to do with Jonjoe Kenny. Not me personally, but the club. Let us know what alternatives you'd rather have.
It'll be your fault next. If we don't do anything, it'll be your fault because you're not selling them.
It's not nothing to do with me. I'm going to get upset and I'm going to walk if we don't get the players that I want. And then I'm gonna message Toffee Blues John and let him know, just all that before anyone else finds out, just because I'm in the know, But yeah, there you go, guys. Drop us a comment, give this video a like, subscribe for more great content and me talking wham like that, basically. And thank you for tuning in on the Toffee Blues.